done well. Robin is there! Iron Robin! Modric takes. It's a header quick future! Here's Dele Alli. Here's Lucas Moura. Oh, they've done it! History made at Anfield. Barcelona beaten. Roma have risen from their ruin. What about that? Thierry Henry! He scored! He scored for Arsenal in the Bernabeu! Balotelli! Aguero!
The biggest religion in the world is not even a religion, it's football. A game that has had a lot of talk shows, a lot of debates and discussions throughout the years. And this is just another addition to it. This is just me and my friends who I have known for a long time. What started as a group of people playing FIFA or football games together, we thought of taking the next step because we were discussing about football almost every day. We thought of why not give it a better go at a place where our thoughts would be shared through to people, basically. So yeah, this is just us taking the next step, and welcome to the Fifth Substitute podcast. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience due to some technical difficulties that we have been facing due to the lockdown situations, and we have been recording it from our homes. So yeah, enjoy. I'd like to introduce you to everyone on the panel here. Guys, say hi.
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 Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, since this is the first podcast of ours, so we are here to discuss basically how we got introduced to the football as a game and how we grew to love it, like what processes went through us going into football and going into sport, basically, to be honest. So yeah, I'll start with the two Londoners in Michu and Anish. Michu, go first.
Hi everyone, my name is Mitchu. So my love of football actually initiated when in 2002 my father was a great Brazil fan during the World Cup when he shaved my head, bald into it, and that gave me that iconic Ronaldo shave, and hence Brazil winning that particular World Cup was a very new moment for me to see what the feeling of an achievement goes on to it. Even associated with the years, as an Indian, we are not much of fond with the game of football as we see of it is. And even the Premier League didn't used to have its own telecast till any part of it till 2006 or 7 and its own broadcasting partners with India as well. So my love of football initiated in as an adult, or like my love of Tottenham Hotspur initiated in 2010 after the FIFA World Cup when Spain won the World Cup, and it was a great achievement, and hence underdog story for Spain, who haven't won the World Cup for ever since. So this was one of the great things that ever happened and made me come into the season that would have been started the next month itself. When I saw one of my cousin brothers was actually that rebellious mentality of a younger brother that goes on to going against the ideologies or philosophies of your older brother. And the first match I saw was a match of Tottenham Hotspur against Watford, I guess. So that was a match when I got introduced to football in a basic of adulthood. Then throughout the entire season, the Tottenham Hotspur's first ever Champions League qualification was the previous year. I did not have any idea about it, and understood that this was the first edition of Tottenham Hotspur in order to be in the Champions League. So that was a great run of Tottenham Hotspur. Then when in first half losing to a lot of teams, and then in the second half Peter Crouch scored another goal. Then Gareth Bale scored one. We had an assist from Jermaine Defoe as well. So that was a great. The entire season was a great moment for me to be attached to Tottenham Hotspur, and that feeling of achievement of an underdog that makes this game more of a flourish and more awakening, and hence the attachment of that passion towards football and anything associated with the game of it. And I specifically remember that a hat-trick of Gareth Bale against Inter Milan in the last group stage game, which made Tottenham Hotspur the first one to qualify for the next round. And again, in the round of 16, AC Milan, we faced AC Milan, and hence AC Milan was also beaten by Tottenham Hotspur. So this great feeling of achievement that you have beaten two of the European champions, and the one who won it the previous year. It was a great achievement to be feeling as a supporter of who has been firstly introduced or newly introduced to the game of football, and supporting a club that have gone so out of it. Although Tottenham Hotspur lost to Real Madrid in the quarterfinals, that was somehow a great underdog story that made me get attached to Tottenham Hotspur. That's my first story for me. Is I was attached to Tottenham Hotspur.
So yeah, Michu, what a great story. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just move to the next guy on the panel, another North Londoner, Anish. Please let us know your story.
Hi everyone.
Share your story.
So I got introduced to football through FIFA, like most Indians. That was, I think, in 2006. I first watched football like as far as I can remember. I think in 2007. We didn't even have cable, so like I used to go to my grandma's place and I used to watch football. And the only matches that I remember watching from early on, I think, were most of them were Arsenal games. I think it was because of the playing style. I was really attached to the team. I didn't know anything in 2013. I didn't even bother to look it up. I just like the way they passed the ball around. It's so smooth. The Wenger ball, and everything. It was really good, and also the red and white, like, of course, iconic colors. I got like instilled in my mind, and it gives me immense pleasure to watch them play every time. At the end of the day, I don't care if they win or lose. I just want to watch them playing football, and like nobody can take that feeling of immense pleasure from watching football, watching Arsenal play. I started watching football properly from like I think 2011, 11-12 season when Manchester City won. That was such a great season for Manchester City. Like final day of the tournament, the league, United thought they'd won, and then like City's comeback, that iconic comeback, that Aguero goal. I mean, that was something. That was really something.
Probably the
Yeah.
best moment of Premier League
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen so far.
I thought they were going to lose. My brother started watching, started supporting City from like 2010. That lucky bastard in 2011, they won. Of course, it was like my heart sank down. And like, yeah. Also, I didn't
Believe
watch
me,
a
I've
lot.
known that feeling.
Of course, of
There,
course.
bro.
And also, like, I haven't really watched a lot of international football before 2000, the 2014 World Cup. So like, yeah, I don't really have any recollections of watching any football, international football from before that. Other than that, I would say that being an Arsenal fan is really hard, of course, since like we have really slumped since the last few years, and like yeah, but we have had our moments. Those FA Cup finals, definitely cherishable. Yeah.
Talking about
13
slums,
FA
you are
Cups.
talking about 13 FA Cups. Talking about slums, 5 FA Cup semi-finals in row. Not even a final for Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, if you were talking about slums, I shall intrude you on that.
Last time Tottenham won, it was
I think we hit
in the
another one,
90s, in the
Michu.
90s, right?
So yeah, Anish, nice story. And we of course sympathize you for supporting Arsenal. We know how devastating can be sometimes,
You have no idea.
and
You have
how
no
like
idea.
how proud how the people take pride in supporting Arsenal in the other form as well, because they were fortunate to see such a great manager, French manager, coming into an English league and doing wonders for the team.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's a good story, but they'll get back. I'm pretty sure they have a young team.
Yeah,
They
we
can
will,
do
yeah.
they can do pretty well next season itself. So yeah, so good story, Anish. Next, I think we'll move on to another guy from across London. I think Southeast London, basically. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, Swagatam, go.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sogaram. I started watching football when I was 9 years old. When I was in class 4, I used to watch Saturday Sunday matches, evening 6 p.m. matches. But after 10, because I have to sleep for then go to the school. So yeah, typical
Them
Indian.
school days, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever there is my favorite team was Chelsea at that season, probably till now, 10 years since. But the problem was that after some of those matches were after 10, so I have to wait for the 2 days next newspaper to see the results. That time I didn't have the internet, so I used to be in a hurry to take the newspaper every morning and watch the sports section for the news. So yeah, the 19th season was of course very good. We eventually won the title under Carlo Ancelotti, and it was a very good team. Of course, Lems, John Terry, and of course in the front line Didier Drogba. And the connection between all the back, front, and the mid made me love with the club. So yeah, that's how I started watching football, and it's still watch Chelsea matches every day, not every day, every weekday, probably.
Yeah, I wish it was every
Chelsea
day.
Chelsea was the reason why Swagatam had a Samsung cell phone for a longevity of time.
Why
Maybe yeah.
what we would give for a Premier League match every day. So yeah, very relatable story.
Yeah,
Swagatam.
every Indian
We've
can
all been
relate, I
there.
think.
Yeah, because their prime time matches used to be our night time. So
Yes, they're
that's where we struggle because
5:30.
we are, I
So
think, 5.5 hours ahead of them.
yeah.
So yeah, those struggles I know personally. It's a nice story, Swagatam. We got to learn about your experience and we could certainly relate. I think most of us could relate to it.
Yeah.
And I think I'll just move to the next person on who's about to speak. I think the Madrista in the form of Dhandeep. Dhandeep, you're a go.
Hello everyone. Liverpool was my first favorite team, and Fernando Torres
Yes, man.
was the best player in the team at that moment. Then slowly, when I started watching some games like the FIFA World Cup, I didn't watch much, but I did see the final and the semi-final. I guess I almost forgot about that. Then my love for Real Madrid came when Jose Mourinho joined Real Madrid in 2011. I think he had a great mentality of to play the players in their respective positions, and he did won the La Liga in that season. Then for me, the best season of Real Madrid was the 2016-17 season under Zinedine Zidane. They won 5 trophies in that season. I think that was the best season I have ever witnessed in my life. And of course, the every great players in the world like Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo have played for the Galacticos. So yeah, obviously it's the best in the
Steve
world for me.
McManaman from Liverpool.
Yeah,
Lol.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Real Madrid, yeah, 16-17. No, not just 16-17. Real Madrid had been,
Yeah,
should I
they
say,
had
a
been the
very
best, yes.
brilliant force in
And
Europe.
and also under Zidane, they have been improving a lot.
Zinedine Zidane gives the freedom to people to just play their game, and he'll worry about the rest. That sort of attitude, he at least shows that in
He
the
knows the
pitch,
club
and
inside
I
out.
think that's what gives their
He knows.
players confidence.
Mm.
Because if you see at that Cristiano Ronaldo goal, look at that Cristiano Ronaldo goal at
Fuck, that
Turin,
was amazing.
the bicycle kick. That's
That was
almost one
amazing.
of the greatest goals I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And in
in
fact,
his
yeah.
career.
Zinedine
Look
Zidane
at that, and
was
you think how,
shocked,
what sort
man.
of confidence those players are going into the match.
Mm.
Yeah, of course, brilliant in Madrid, and what a story. Yeah.
On that behalf, would you agree? Okay, if you're talking about Zizou,
Okay.
which one of the final goals was actually better, Gareth Bale's or Zizou's volley against Winters in the final?
I think
Gareth Bale's which goal?
Zizou's final goal
Bale's final
or
goal.
Gareth Bale's final goal?
Final
Which
goal.
one was a
Oh,
better UCL final goal? You as a Real Madrid fan,
obviously
achieved?
Zinedine Zidane's one, man. That volley
That
was
volley
awesome.
was
Also Gareth Bale's bicycle was not that bad, but Zinedine Zidane's goal was epic.
yeah. For a golf player, that's very great actually. Tiger Woods would be proud.
Lol.
Tiger Bale.
Tiger Woods.
So yeah. So I think I'll just move on to the next speaker. So yeah, Dishran, your go.
Hello. So, being a Liverpool fan, it might hurt you because, like, I started watching football. Like, it was not an infatuation at first. It was just an infatuation. I just liked. I didn't know anything about it or what was offside, who was playing, who was not. I had no idea. My father introduced me to this game, like Liverpool versus AC Milan, 2007 UCL final, I guess. So, and I
Yep.
saw Kaka play.
Still
Like
hurts.
I don't remember much. I don't remember much from that final, but like I remember Kaka's performance. Like it was phenomenal, and that guy made me fall in love with football. It was just an infatuation at that point, but like it was beautiful. And by then, I think I started following football after that, like from 2009, and I saw this team called Bayern Munich who were in the final against Inter Milan. Not that season, but the season after that. I think the 2010 season. So I thought Inter, they were
Yeah.
a like
Jose
big,
Mourinho's team. Yep.
yeah, Jose Mourinho's team. They were a big team by then. Every day, like in the newspaper, you would get articles about
Samuel
that
Eto'o
team.
played on the wing for that man. Man, I cannot. Yep.
So
Continue.
okay, so like what happened was we were defeated. Like it broke my heart because like I saw Schweinsteiger crying. It kind of resonated in that sense that we lost. I thought I'd support Inter being a glory hunter, but then I realized that Bayern were a really prolific team in Germany, and like from then on I started following them. I think like Bundesliga was then broadcasted on Neo Sports, if I remember correctly. It has now been shifted to Fox
Yep.
Sports. Yeah. So like I started following them, and then I saw the UCL final against Chelsea. It broke my heart. It still breaks my heart. I hate Chelsea. Sorry, Swagatam. I hate Chelsea. But like,
What was that?
but
Drogba
like,
go. Brrr.
but the season after that we won. Since then, there have been many European nights where we have faced disappointments. Many nights where I have spent crying. I won't lie, because Ronaldo broke my heart, dude. He broke, I think, Manuel Neuer's hand, and he broke my heart as well. So, it's a like ongoing love story, and I'm really
Big F,
passionate
bro.
about that, and I'm really passionate about them. I'm really passionate about the German football, and I just, yeah, my story goes that way.
A good choice. I would say a good choice because I don't see any more Inter or AC Milan fans roaming around the street in our neighborhood anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a good choice,
I think
actually.
they just went to sleep after those like magnificent players retired. I think half
Exactly.
of
Yeah, but
them went away after
Inter
Maldini
is on the
retired, to be
rise.
honest.
Inter is on the
Inter
rise,
is
though.
on the
But like
rise yet
still,
again. Yes, right.
Inter is turning some very good players who were rejects at the like previous football clubs, sort of rejects, to be honest, and they're turning them into some like magnificent players. And I think Antonio Conte deserves some like credit because at Chelsea he did a
but there
good
is,
job, and then
Yeah.
but there is
he
no
went
resurrection
to.
for Alexis Sanchez, though.
But then yeah, I think that man just needs to catch a break. I think the first match, I think he came back. I think he played
I
for
don't think an
Inter
approval
No,
Milan.
has
He
I
been
scored
think
two
I think
goals.
there is a great opportunity for Alexis Sanchez to come back in his career. I think there is a huge opera house in
Yes,
Milan,
opera
I
house.
guess, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
he could play the
He could play
piano there.
piano.
He
Yeah,
could play
Yeah,
yeah.
the
I was
piano
about
there
to
instead.
Yeah,
the greatest signing ever.
I
Give
remember
your
when he played
mentors,
for
Micho.
United and he played the like
talking about
United
yeah,
song
yeah,
on the
yeah,
piano.
yeah. Talking about the transfer at Manchester United. He was playing piano in the transfer reveal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. It was funny. It was really funny. That guy said that he wanted to always play for Barcelona. Then again, he wanted to. Then he again said that he always wanted to play
Play
for
for
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Then again, he said that he wanted to play for United. Then again, he said he wanted to play for Inter. So like,
He's
I don't know this
basically
guy.
that FIFA fan who's there in every match.
Basically, it's
He's the real life version of it, and he almost looks like that. So
The actual snake.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah,
stick to
so
one
yeah,
club,
I
man.
think
Stick to one.
we'll just move on to the next guy on the panel. I think it's the oil giant,
second
Manchester
of them.
City
Second.
fan,
Oh, that's a nice
Mr.
thought.
Saurav.
Thanks for the
Saurav,
intro, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi
English or
everyone.
giant, I would like to pursue on that.
Okay, save your banters, bro. We'll need to make more episodes on this podcast, right? So save for them.
Yeah, we'll just do an episode
Okay.
called Banter
Okay,
itself. So
okay.
don't worry.
Okay. Okay. I will be the prime subject there. Yeah, I know that.
Wait. Before Saurav says anything, he is doing engineering, but he's doing electronics engineering, I think so.
What the fuck,
But his branch preference was petroleum engineering.
bro? Okay, I get it.
It's only fitting. What the fuck?
Thanks. Okay.
That's
Okay.
a legit
Thanks
Brav
for
moment.
that. Yeah,
Nice.
there
Okay,
are many
okay,
bra moments
yeah. We'll
nowadays.
just let Saurav continue. We'll just let
Yeah,
Saurav
okay.
continue. Saurav, tell us your
So
story.
I have a pretty vague idea about how I started my journey in football. Like I remember the FIFA days, actually, the World Cup FIFA days back in 2010, I guess, when Iniesta scored the winning goal in the stoppage time for Spain against the Dutch. That was really a majestic one. I remember watching the game with my father and my brother alongside. I guess that's how a typical Indian story into football comes in pace. Like their next to kin in the family, like their brother, father, or mother, even. So who are a fan of football themselves through mostly World Cup, not club football. I also got the craze for football through the 2010 World Cup, and I started watching the league games as well. But there was like not available sources to watch though. I guess only a few channels, only one or two channels used to telecast the weekend football matches of different leagues. So I have a very vague idea about the Manchester City against QPR match. Wow, that match I like no one will ever forget. I guess as Anish already mentioned you
I'm pretty sure no one
that
will ever.
yeah
Sorry,
yeah.
Manchester United
So
fans.
they snatched the trophy from the United hand, right? So in the
Fergie's face
94th
went
minute.
red.
Sorry.
Fergie's face went red.
Oh yeah. That striking awe in its
And there is a fun.
And
There's a fun
Phil
Yeah,
Jones
so
thought
yeah,
that
the
he would
94th
he
minute goal from
Do you know
Aguero.
that
Wow.
there is a fun fact that Balotelli
Uh,
gave that assist, and this is the only assist he gave all
yeah,
time.
I know that, bro.
yes, exactly.
It is the best assist of
Okay,
all time.
Bro, that
okay.
was
Why
hard.
always
So
me,
yeah,
bro? Why always
he
me?
gave that when he was in Manchester City. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we always often forget the equalizer that Edin Dzeko scored with his beautiful header in 92nd
Yeah.
minute. But that's also a pretty, a goal to be remembered. And I have,
That I think gave
yeah,
City fans hope. So like
yeah,
they just
pretty much.
went on and capitalized on the last chance they got.
I just went crazy over that team then. So over the time, like I remember 2014 UCL. The Madrista here, Thandip can easily, glorify in it as Sergio Ramos equalized, and he brought back with a Modric corner, I guess, right? Modric delivered the corner, and it was a sweet header from Ramos to bring Madrid back in the match, and finally they won 4-1, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, there have been really pretty good moments over the years in football. Like, if you ask me honestly, I don't remember much about the events across history. If you sit with me and ask me for dates and scores and stuff, I don't specifically remember each of them, but I do pretty much about the matches I've seen. Like, I'm not, to be true, I'm not just a fan of a particular club, not a wholehearted fan of a club. Yeah, I do prefer Manchester City over the other club. But to be true, I'm like a huge fan of the game. I respect the game, and I really.
On a positive
Global
note,
agent.
among all the criticisms and the banter against Manchester City, I'd say that they have a solid management. I mean, building a team from like scratch,
Thank you, bro.
champion.
At least
That was
someone
amazing.
acknowledged. Yeah, thanks.
Also Wizards to manipulate their like records, right?
Okay,
Like
yeah. Save
I
it,
can only
save it,
vouch
bro.
for the fact that no matter how much money you have, you still need to scout players. You still need to nurture them.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing that the club
And
is
I think
lacking in, I
City
guess.
bought
But
some
still,
Early
very
in the
they.
UCL, man.
City brought some very good players, like who were good before, and they were good. Of course, they were brilliant afterwards. But then they matured some of the players. Fernandinho, Vincent Company, they were good players,
Mhm.
but then they became excellent performers. Maybe, like Fernandinho at
True.
Manchester City, great CDM. No matter how much bad he
Yeah,
plays football.
I remember
since you
asking
brought
my
up,
like
yeah,
we were having
go on.
debate, and I asked my brother, "Who is your club legend?" He said, "What
He
Stephen
said,
Ireland
"Don't."
was on." He said Ireland was his club legend.
Stephen Ireland was a good player, to be honest.
But like they have created legends in the recent years. I'd say this decade has been
Yeah,
really good for
Sergio
them.
Aguero will always stay the legend in Premier League. I think so.
Yes.
Never forget
He's,
David
he's a
Silva.
brilliant player, brilliant
One
marksman.
of
Yeah,
the
yeah, he's
best
Same.
retiring this
strikers
season. No,
alongside
no, actually leaving the season.
Lewandowski.
Sorry.
The
What?
same
He
as
retired?
Vincent Company.
Yeah, since you mentioned Vincent Company, like I would like to draw your attention to a particular match against Leicester City. That season when Manchester City became the Centurions, I can't even forget the goal. Like that was, I don't know about your memories, but that particular goal, I clearly remember that Vincent Company scored the only goal that helped us to become the Centurion at those particular time, because Liverpool was on our ass, to be true, and they were like a real competitor. Like I still respect that team, and yeah, I'm pretty much bummed that Premier League is going to resume, in the next month. Okay, so I also want to say that VAR,
Sorry,
that
Saurav.
video assistant referee, for our audience, if they don't know, like has not been a good friend to us, because there has been circumstances, to be precise, last season, I guess, yeah, against Tottenham. Hello, Michu. Yeah, you can. That was not an offside.
That's wait. That's no. That's because you can buy the league, but you cannot buy
No, no,
referees.
no,
That's it.
no, no. We don't prefer buying
Oh,
referees. We are not romantic, bro. Come on.
also the
So,
handball rule.
Yeah,
like
you cannot
that
buy
was
referees.
not an
That's why
offside.
you're buying.
I still,
Counterpoint.
I still believe on that. But yeah, luck favored you guys, and still you sucked in final.
Yes, it.
Yay.
Oh, no, that's not
Yeah.
called luck. That's called passion.
Okay, that's
You're
all
starting
from
us
me.
strong.
Like,
Starting strong here.
Oh, wait.
yeah.
Talking about Tottenham, luck, and Manchester City. Yeah, Kyle Walker was the one who broke the recent lockdown and for having a rave party in his house. That bastard have changed after
Biggest
leaving
respect
Tottenham.
party.
Once you kiss success, what else? What kind of
Yeah,
attitude this
money
is
gets
that he's
into head,
showing
bro.
upon? This is
Like,
very
there is
embarrassing.
no use of
Bro, I
talking.
think he just slipped on oil.
Slipped on.
Okay. Good one, good one. Yeah.
His character, I
So we
believe.
continue.
Yeah. Talking about 100, talking about 100 points and actually league champions and slipping over oil. Let's talk about a very last hour of a moderator. Let's that what are your views and entire your history of how you fall into love with football as your increasing passion for Liverpool as well. Arijit, please.
So yeah, like I like to affiliate myself to the Merseyside and primarily the red side. Of course, the red side. To be honest, nobody likes Everton. Okay, so yeah, I think my
Tranmere Rovers
journey.
and Liverpool. Only two clubs in Merseyside.
No, Liverpool and Liverpool Reserves. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think my journey did not actually start with Liverpool. To be honest, it started with FIFA. I actually did not know anything about football, to be honest, till I was around 7 or 6. It was primarily cricket for us in India. Like most of the children here. And to be honest, there were not many options to watch football because they used to show the traditional big four matches only, and the smaller matches were forgotten in the course of time. So yeah, I think I started watching football from, I can pinpoint it to that season 2008-9. I think, yeah, 8-9. So yeah, that was, I think, one of the greatest seasons of the Premier League. So because it was the last season where the traditional big four would continue to dominate, because after that season City came into the fray with with all their money, and I think Tottenham again become a force because they, I think, qualified for UCL that in that season for the next season, I think. So yeah, I'm not really sure. So yeah, it was primarily the Torres and Gerrard era. It was heavenly how those two played. It was like my whole locality used to be filled with Torres jerseys and Liverpool jerseys. Basically, we were absolute fans of that club, and we were
He was
in
amazing.
awe of that club. And I think it was also because everyone thought that United would get because they were marching on to their third consecutive title very easily. But then the narrative changed when Liverpool won at Old Trafford. I think it was a 4-1 victory there, and that's where I think United's frailties were exposed. Vidic was red carded, and I think Torres ended Vidic first and then got him red carded. I'm not really sure. So yeah, Torres scored, showed the five. Then Andrea De Sena scored. Andrea De Sena, who's just I think nowhere to be found right now. Yeah, so even he scored. So it's a 4-1 victory, and I think Fabio Aurelio scored. So yeah, 4-1 victory, and the narrative changed, and suddenly Liverpool were back in it, and the other clubs were had a substantial interest, of course. But then yeah, of course, what happens with Liverpool's luck that Federico Makeda or Kiko Makeda, as they called him, Federico Makeda scored a goal on his debut to basically end the title race. Because United, let's be honest, they were too good a team to fall after that. Because they won it in a very dramatic style against Aston Villa. I think 3-2, that result was at Old Trafford. And then yeah, they just capitalized on that and they just won the league. And same happened in between. There was turmoil at my club. I think Gillette Hicks destroyed our club's finances. They just almost sold us out, to be honest. FSG came in. They made the club stable. They were not good for another two,
What
3
a
years
revival,
until the 13-14 season. And yeah, 13-14 season also one of the greatest seasons I have ever seen. Because to be honest, I like how my team played. They were not very really defensively strong because they conceded I think 53 or 55 goals, but then they scored prolific goals, 101 goals in that season. And Luis Suarez was at his peak. No matter how much of a shithouse he is, he was a brilliant player when he was at the Premier League. And I think most of us will agree to that. Do we?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, of
Yes,
course, he was a
of course.
beast.
31 goals in a Premier League season.
And his
Yeah, of
long
course.
Talking
range
about
shots, man.
defaulty, yes,
His
very
long range
much,
shots
man.
were out of this world.
Norwich
Talking
will
about
know.
faulty defenses, I like to mention one very particular season in hand that Tottenham Hotspur were accepted as one of the greatest defensive backlines of the entire season under Andre Villas-Boas. And then
No,
just
no.
before five,
I know.
five just before 5 matches to go for this season to end, Manchester City scored 6 passes. Wow, Andre Villas-Boas, what a great manager you are, sir.
No man. Yeah, it was unfortunate that Stevie G slipped, and we became the banter club for another year.
Not talking
And
about
yeah,
No, it's
the
fine. There
talking
was
about
oil,
the
right?
slip, yes. But
At least there wasn't no oil, no. So it's fine.
yeah, okay.
no, I
Talking
think
about the
I
slip,
think
yes.
Liverpool.
Did you watch the 3-3 Crystal Palace match?
Yeah, of course. I'm
Yeah,
going to that to be
that
honest.
was the one.
Istanbul. Okay, I know that. I'm just saying that I think if we would have won at Chelsea, like against Chelsea at Anfield that day, I think we would have had the confidence to win it because like Chelsea and City were only the real competitors there. And
Yeah.
to win against Chelsea was to set a big statement because we already had a win against Manchester City and we were way ahead. We would be way ahead of the rest, and that Crystal Palace result wouldn't matter at the end. So yeah, I think Liverpool missed Jordan Henderson that day because I think he got a red card against City at Anfield. And yeah, the narrative changed when Jordan Henderson was actually missed in that match. No matter how much slack he gets for his, I don't think people say he passes sideways. I don't think he does that. I think he plays his heart out for the team. And that day we missed the heart in the team. And yes, that slip wouldn't have happened if Jordan Henderson was there to clean it up. To be honest, I'm really honest here. I reached my peak, and just like my team when we won the Champions League. And before that, yeah, that 4-0 comeback against Barcelona. Those have been really good moments. I've had a very good last 3 years under Klopp. Klopp, I will be forever grateful to him. I think he's one of the first managers I've seen since in a long time that showed that passion mattered sometimes, and not always philosophy, not always tactical things. Though he is a very good tactician, to be honest, people always underrate that. But yeah, he showed that passion mattered, the love for a football club matters, and he basically that campaign. This means more Liverpool. I think that stands true for itself. And yeah, just that is my story because I cannot really pinpoint where I started watching football.
Arijit, I have a question. I have a question for you.
Yep. Go
So,
ahead.
like, which trophy would you prefer? The Champions League last season or the coming Premier League trophy this season? Which one? If you had to pick one.
I think no. I think I'll always prefer the Champions League because you think about a player who comes from Africa, who comes from those third world nations to play football in a professional league in England, the
Yeah.
biggest football can get in the world. And I'm really being considered here because Bundesliga is also a very great league. Serie A is also a very great league. La Liga itself is a great league. But Premier League, Premiership football is different. It's fast, it's tough. You think about those players, and like Liverpool went to the Champions League, as I think not many gave us a chance after that 3-0 defeat at Barcelona. And when we went to the
Yeah.
final, the
Yeah.
story is that you come from Africa, you were there for a long time, you have suffered through the worst, and to win that Champions League is to be remembered forever. Just like if you win the Premier League, to be honest. But then Premier League happens every year. I don't think Champions League gives you the chance to like do it whenever you want, because Champions League is a very unpredictable league itself, because it's a knockout.
Yeah. True.
Knockout matches,
True.
knockout competitions are never good for like good teams. To be honest, I've seen some very decent teams win the Champions League. Even Liverpool 2005. If a Liverpool 2005 team could win that Champions League, you can say a lot about UCL that way, because how much like it matters a lot to win something
Of course,
that
the
big.
4-2 win.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
Porto
4-2 win.
under Jose Mourinho.
Liverpool has always dominated Europe whenever they have been serious about it. In 2013, 14, they were not serious about it, and Real Madrid thumped us at Anfield 3-0. I think I remember Isco giving Philippe Coutinho a dance at our pitch. So yeah, that was very embarrassing. Whenever Liverpool have been serious about that competition, they have gone on to do something really brilliant. And I think the likes of Chelsea, that brilliant team of Chelsea in I think 2008, that lost the final of 2008. They defeated us in the quarterfinal, I think. And
Yes, yes.
another good
Frank
team was,
Lampard.
of course, Real Madrid, 3-1 defeat in the final, 17-18, which was hurtful. But then, yeah, I was proud of how my team played throughout the season.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that is my story. I
Talking
can
about
go hours.
Liverpool, talking about Liverpool and Jordan Henderson's association and relevance toward the entire squad. That it is shortlisted that Jordan Henderson would or might win the PFA Player of the Year this season. And hence, with the good news of our Premier League side is that it has been released from the English FA that if all the conditions are staying at normal and I can see it Brighton, Watford, and Wolves associated with coronavirus cases that have been they are be as the teams or the clubs have associated themselves with being positive with the players and all of the staff members, that it's a good news from the English FA that the 17th of June is the day when the Premier League is going to come back, and great applause for that. We are really happy for it. So
Yep.
talking about legacies and all, yeah, talking about legacies and all, if Kyle Walker and Andre Villas-Boas reaches to this podcast, I'm really sorry. That wasn't a banter I wanted to go against. I respect you both a lot for giving a great moment of support to this relax. Talking about Andre Villas-Boas
There's been a lot
and
of
the
hurt
PSG
there.
entire Andres Villas was what a great manager he is, that coming from the associative bench of becoming an associate manager with Jose Mourinho, then coming to Tottenham Hotspur, then going to China, and all of the flicker he had. Finally, he had this chance of revising himself into the League One of France. Hence, when Marseille are finally back after so many years in the Champions League, and which even all being PSG being this oil giant also, the best of the
Oh,
rest becomes
Saurav.
the second position for League One. Best of
Live
the
it,
rest
live it.
becomes the second position for the League One position teams in French league. So a great job by Entras Villas-Boas of making Marseille back to the Champions League and where they deserve, as they have won the Champions League. So with this, I would, once we talk about Champions League memories or we talk about football memories, let's go to a very fond memories of what, how, and what was the greatest moments of each and of every one of our seven friends, of what they accept or what they feel like was the greatest moment that grabs their emotions and passion towards football. I would like to cross my encouragement with talking about Arsenal. And although I should be a great against that entire club because I should hate them, but I don't for a lot of reasons. But the
Everybody
thing
loves
is,
Arsenal.
the only people that do not love Arsenal are the supporters and Arsenal fan TV actually. So
Yeah. Fem
Oh,
blood.
Nice,
Fem
nice,
blood. Fem
nice.
blood.
serious heat, bro. That's some serious heat.
everyone loves Arsenal, excluding the people that should
Anik
actually
has
love
been
them.
cancelled.
So I would like to hear. I would like to hear Anish's greatest memory of how the passion of football and that particular grasp of moment that gave you emotion towards the entire game of football. Actually,
As I said that I only started watching football seriously, started watching Arsenal play seriously was in 2011. So like I didn't get the opportunity to watch the legendary Arsenal teams play, the ones having Thierry Henry, Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungberg, and all. So like when Thierry Henry came back from Barcelona to Arsenal on loan, and when he scored that goal, I mean that was
the FA Cup
something.
goal.
Yes, that was something. Watching him score that goal in his typical Thierry Henry fashion, like that was brilliant. I got goosebumps that day, man. Also, apart from that, I'd say the Hull City versus Arsenal final FA Cup 2014. That was something. Coming back from 2-0 and
Yeah,
like
that
winning.
was yeah.
That was really
As the
something, man.
comment, yeah,
To be
as was the
honest, let's be
commentator says,
honest.
that was one of the greatest FA Cup finals the new Wembley have seen. Actually, talking about Wembley and talking about the great history of Wembley and associated with it, I would
Wembley is
like to
Arsenal's
say,
second home,
yeah.
man.
Wembley is Arsenal's
It was
second home, and
actually
it was
Tottenham's home for now.
Tottenham's home for 2 seasons, but we were not able to
Yeah,
achieve
yeah.
a silverware in that
One rent.
stadium.
You achieved one silverware, defeating Liverpool 4-1.
I would like to grace
Did you
upon
make
You
it
were
one
to
thing.
lying, to be
Liverpool?
honest.
I would like to grace upon one thing that actually I achieve something that we have passionate fans, that we were able to attend the highest attendance of English football two times in the single season. That is, I'm referring to Manchester City. Actually, how are you? Sort of, if you are alive, I want to say that the entire seating of Wembley, that is, I don't know, it's 90,000.
Yes.
86,867 people were present to watch Tottenham Hotspur play. So just imagine the Etihad. What is the feeling of Etihad would have? Okay, talking about Wembley, actually, let's go on to a variant that had a greatest moment in his life of how a final of clenching into the coming to the final and losing it again and yet and again. Finally, going on to the La Reventada of their final that against Dortmund, a Jurgen Klopp's team, that the final of it might be or might not be. So I would like to ask the Shiron of which is the moment that you grasp the most of your emotions.
Yeah, that goal in Wembley and Robin in the 89th minute was. It should be my best memory, but it is not. The best memory I have to choose is the 7-0 thumping of Barcelona in our way to the final. Like
Sorry,
it
no
was
Barca
Sorry,
fans
really.
here.
sorry, no Barca fans here.
Yeah, we're lucky
I'm
on
glad
that.
that you
So I'd
chose
like to
not to
see.
mention Arsenal's 10-1 aggregate loss.
10-2
I
to
was
be
about to say
precise.
So
that.
sorry.
I was about to say that. I love Arsenal. We love Arsenal.
Yeah, everybody loves us.
Yeah,
See,
gonna
Sorry,
take
bro.
yeah.
You're
like
in deception.
yeah, the 7-0 victory was
That's
like something else because if I remember correctly, I think in the 2009 season we were thumped by Barcelona in the quarterfinal. I think like 5-1. It was aggregate. It was kind of heartbreaking, although I was not a Bayern supporter by then. But like I watched that game and it was like heartbreaking to see them like go down on their knees, and like I'm pretty sure Bayern fans are really passionate, and that is what made me support this club in the first place. And also, and speaking of Chelsea, I don't hate Chelsea, by the way. That was just pure passion speaking out. But
No, you
No
I'm
don't.
pretty
shame.
excited for the Chelsea squad though. Like I'm pretty excited for Frank Lampard's team. The rivalry that has been like spawned between Chelsea and us quite good. If you need a reminder, Swagatam, we won
We,
3-1.
you, we
We're
are,
still
you are
ahead.
winning 3-0. Yeah, I know, I know.
So yeah, that's my favorite memory. Yeah.
also talking about Bayern. We are all glad that the Bundesliga is back in action, and we all watched the derby match against Dortmund, of course. So we'll be analyzing that match in the next episode. Yeah.
Yeah, stay
And
tuned.
we'll also be discussing like about the greatest derbies, the greatest rivalries, and the greatest derby players that we have seen in our time. Basically, adding on to Anish's part, like we watched that derby, Day Classica, and I think I'd like to hear views on that from all of us the next
Yeah,
episode.
sure. Yeah, that'd be
So
fun.
yeah,
Talking about
Sorry,
Wembley and a
Saurav.
decadal, what greatest moment in decade we should be going on to? As I would accept, the greatest moment in Premier League or in this decade was that Aguero staggering moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Whatever you
I
say,
guess
bro, that goal that no one will forget ever.
Yeah,
Like
nobody
for
would forget.
how
It was
we
one of the most
dethroned United. Yeah,
yeah,
Martin
you can
Tyler
say that.
and Martin Tyler's entire commentary associated with it makes us the flourishing moment attached with the entire moment. Tell me
Oh,
sort of
that
how was your feelings?
like to be pretty true. Like I already gave up hopes till the 88th minute because Cisse's wondrous goals really torn me apart. And I thought, yeah, United can have this one too as well. Like, what will City be capable of? Like such late equalizers and a winning goal as well. Like I wasn't too trustworthy on that situation. So, but it was really a very striking moment for me as well when Deco equalized in 92nd and again Aguero scored. That was really a turning moment for not only for me being a fan, but for City as well because yeah, that led to a great Manchester City team we have today.
Just walk us
okay.
through what Chelsea greatest moment that you thought was in accordance to your emotions.
It
And
will
what
be probably,
Drogba did to
yeah,
like
probably
achieve that.
everybody knows. Probably the 11-12 season
We all know.
and the 87-minute Drogba header. It was a roller coaster ride of a season, and as you said, ADB and Adria Boss was a okay manager, I think so. He left the club, I think, in mid-March before the second leg of round of 16. We were about to face Napoli in the next week, I think so. Then Roberto Di Matteo took in charge of the club. Yeah, we were
Chelsea
losing.
legend.
Yeah, actually, we were losing 3-1 in the first leg. I have to mention that we did a comeback of 4-1, winning 5-4 in the aggregate. So this saw a lot of potential in Roberto Di Matteo, and he made the club finish in the table of sixth position, not qualifying for a Champions League, but we were qualified for the Champions League next season uh, because we won the Champions League. Yeah, it was a greatest
I, I
moment.
shall I shall not
We
talk
know.
about what the Champions League qualification is according to that. Yeah.
Why didn't Chelsea appoint Di Matteo again? Why
I
didn't
No,
don't
they?
he
know.
was appointed for the next
I
season,
think
but
so.
the consecutive six losses to Chelsea's
Yeah, I
league
think so.
season, consecutive to that, Mateo was sacked actually by Chelsea after that.
Yeah. So that was a great match. In the match in Munich, also the commentators say the Bayern lost their match in their own backyard. Sorry, Distrom. So it was a tense match. Also, Bayern had a good chance. Schweinsteiger missed the penalty, I
Schweinsteiger,
think.
yeah,
Yeah, Schweinsteiger
yeah.
missed the penalty. So it was a good match. So kudos to Bayern
Good match.
winning the
Not
winning
for
the
Bayern.
Champions League next season. I have to say that. Also, the Fernando Torres goal in Barca. So 2-2 aggregate. So
Oh,
one of the greatest.
Nice.
That is one of the
Gary Neville
Greatest
going
goal.
off. No,
Michael, I think it's Michael Owen in the commentary. He was
no, I
doing
think
Yes,
it
because
was
exactly.
Gary Neville.
so
To all the rookies out there, I would like to attain one motion towards that thing is that everyone speaks about why Fernando Torres wasn't offside that. So, with all due respect, that if you are in your own half, you won't and receive the ball, you won't be
yeah,
getting offside upon that. That's why the reason behind Torres'
Even
great goal against Barcelona.
yeah. So that was one of the greatest moment in my Chelsea life. But
even
also,
UEFA could not save Barcelona after that.
yeah, also known as the
yeah,
UEFA Lona.
true.
Haha.
UEFA Lona.
Sorry,
Talking about
Barcelona
Sorry,
fans.
UEFA not
Barca
being
fans.
talking about UEFA not being able to save Barcelona in any moment or time in its association with semi-finals especially. I would like to know what the feelings of Arijit actually is in association with its greatest, one of the greatest semi-finals we have attended or have seen in our history of watching football. Just talk us through what, if not that, what was the greatest moment and what are your greatest moments on associated with football and Liverpool itself?
I think the greatest moments were before that semi-final and before and after that final. We won against Tottenham. Sorry, Michu. So I think before that semi-final, Klopp after that Barcelona game said that we played really good football and he was proud of the team. And that was, I think, enough for me because I saw my team really play really well because not many teams go to Camp Nou and play that sort of football. We just were not good enough to finish our chances, maybe. Not on the day, not good enough on the day. And we did not finish our chances, to be honest. We got two great chances. I think the Milner one and Salah hit the post. So it could have been 3-2, to be honest. But then it was 3-0, and the harsh reality was that we were going into the second leg. So yeah, my moments were before the semi-final was our win against Newcastle 3-2 at St James's Park. So we were 2-0 ahead, and Christian Atsu scored 2-1. Solomon Rondon equalized, and it was 2-2. Suddenly, our title race was dropping itself, and we were just considering it to Manchester City before even the last day. We were determined to take it to the last day because anything could happen in the Premier League, because City were about to play Leicester City on Monday, and we were playing Newcastle on Saturday. So yeah, the previous week Saturday, to be honest. So I think Shaqiri got a free kick at the end, and Origi scored a header. It was 3-2, and we won 3-2 there. And our title hopes were alive. And I think Liverpool fans were consoling themselves with the fact that Leicester could do a miracle against City at Etihad on Monday night. But then Monday night,
They almost
Leicester
pulled it
City
off.
really played well. 70 minutes, I think it was still 70 minutes. Leicester City played well, and Brendan Rodgers almost won it for Liverpool there. But then, last fate would have it, Vincent Company scored a banger of a top bin goal, to be honest. And I think he will
Yeah,
score that once in his
thanks.
lifetime. And
Oh, come on,
yeah,
bro. At least
Company
you won
all
the
but
cup,
ended Liverpool's hope, because let's be honest, Brighton was not going to stop City winning the league, which they didn't, of course. Yeah, good thing about those Liverpool players and Liverpool staff. They were watching that match, no matter how much they say they were not watching it. And think about those minds that went into Tuesday, and Klopp saying them that just because this is you, we have a chance. And that was it for me. That was the Liverpool I know. That was enough. I don't need any trophies to know how good my team is. And then, yeah, of course, the first goal went in, I think, 6th minute. Henderson should have scored, actually, but then Origi tapped it in. Yeah, Origi, what a player, by the way. 3 shots on goal in the UCL, 3 goals. Like all decisive goals. I think Barcelona played, they were scared, they were shattered, they were all over the pitch, but I think they had some very good moments in that match in the first half. Messi played well, Dal played well, even Alba going forward played well, but then his defensive work basically ended Barcelona that day. We scored 4-0. What a match. I don't exactly imagine my life without that match right now, but I was shattered before that match. I was not even going to turn on the TV. I was so destroyed because of the Monday game. But yeah, I turned on. Something in me said that I should watch my team go ahead and like at least win at home, if not go ahead to the final. But then they achieved the incredible, and we won the final. And after that scene, after the final, we could see Klopp crying, Klopp hugging players for 6 minutes. There's a video on YouTube that said Klopp hugging players for 6 minutes. Liverpool released that, and yeah, I could see Klopp hugging even like Tottenham players, because he knew what side they were on. He was on that side for 7 consecutive finals.
Yes,
And
exactly.
yeah, you could only feel for them, and I think everyone of us felt that. And even my friend Michu, Tottenham supporter, he congratulated me that very night. He even cried with me
And
when
didn't
we
talk to
won
you
4-0
for a
against
week.
Barcelona, and I cried with him after, because he won at Amsterdam the next day. What a crazy UCL like season that was, to be honest.
Then, of course, even if you of the hugging and all, Jurgen Klopp
That is my
said that
best moment.
particular deformation of the song that talk about six baby. That great innovation of how
Let
he
us talk
got
about six.
six baby, the six trophy, that the greatest fleet of European titles of Liverpool actually. So greatest English team in that sense of a European giant, as we see as of the pedigree of Europe. Let's talk about, if we're talking about the pedigree of Europe, let's talk about decimal, let's talk about the 13s, let's talk about greatest team if you were not to talking about European titles. Let's talk about Real Madrid if you want to, as first, like, and talk about like what was the greatest moment for Dhandeep that gave you this attachment towards your club.
I think everybody knows 2014 Milan final against Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid were 1-0 down, and at that 90th minute, I swear I was gonna, turn off the TV. At 90th minute, that header by Sergio Ramos was the greatest moment of my Real Madrid career. No, I mean, I ever
I
witnessed.
think it was Lisbon. I think Ronaldo won it at his home,
Portugal,
Portugal.
yeah. Lisbon. It was the
That was
final in
Munich. No,
Lisbon.
this is Milan, I guess.
No,
Oh, that was, I think,
You've won so
2016, I
much,
guess, then.
yeah. You almost confused
I think
yourself.
13 trophies has got to
So
him.
many trophies. What to
Yeah.
Oh, what a good brag.
We also lifted him up. Yeah,
honest,
go on.
honest Sandeep. Sorry, yeah, Sandeep, go on. We can hear you.
You can go on. Yeah.
Not only that moment, but also there are various several other moments. But to be fair, the UCL moments of Real Madrid, I think, are the greatest of all. And I don't watch much league matches of Real Madrid, but only my how to say the eager to watch Real Madrid play grew in me when I turn on in UCL nights only.
Yeah, I think Real Madrid is made for UCL. To be honest, they just want it. They just want it more than everyone else, and they have usually ended up winning it for a lot of times. And they were like facing a slump for a 5 year period. I think I remember them coming to Anfield and losing 4-0. And Torres, Gerrard, they were ending that Real Madrid defense left and right. Gabriel Heinze, Sergio Ramos were there in the defense. And yeah, Real Madrid was lost for a while, and then they came back, and they like how they came back how they came back as Galacticos again. Then they brought Ronaldo, they brought in Bale. They are a force to reckon with even now, to be honest.
Let's talk about Pochettino actually. That he is magic, Mauricio Pochettino, his magic, Like,
Yeah.
okay,
I really like him as a manager,
yes,
to be honest.
he has great Steve to achieve in his actual career. He's very young, and his tactical fluidity in his mind is something of a great tenure that would take him into a greater heights, if not better than a lot of managers fleet at this point of time. I don't know what would happen, but I believe it's so. Like, if I talk about his managerial career, and if I talk about the greatest moment of Tottenham Hotspur, is that the entire season that somehow I don't know why it happened and why the entire season Tottenham Hotspur were not able into a transfer market. I guess it was because of the entire loan procedures of the new Tottenham Hotspur stadium that was building. But that season, that was like that homecoming season that gave us this greatest moment, if I believe it's so, because for me it was one of the most achieved moment and most nurtured moment, because like just some days before I lost my grandma on just a month before, or just it was a couple of weeks before that. So that was the UCL run actually against City that we won that game, or that one of the greatest UCL matches, as Preetu Duri in his commentary said. And then once again, and a VAR considerations.
Okay.
All due respect, Manchester City was the first team in Premier League that accepted VAR as a component of associated with referees. Actually, so if you have
Yeah,
any
that was a
complaints,
mistake.
Damn
yeah,
naughty.
your entire club is a mistake anyway. So,
Oh, come on. Yeah.
There's some
let's
serious
go to
banter going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the semi-final. That of course, there's if any of not only Tottenham Hotspur fans, or if we talk about football in a general way, there's no way, if you think as a supporting of a club, that if you are 3-0 down in consecutive matches of two legs, in just having one leg left to refurbish yourself or revamp yourself towards this, it's almost impossible. And I was lost of all hope. I was crying, and this is not the moment that was about to happen for you Tottenham forever to go to a Eastern final or ever do something like that. But then 15 minutes to go upon the entire this revelation of the tactical change in Mauricio Pochettino's head, how Lucas Moura could have been associated with the entire thing. That hat trick was, if not the greatest moment for Tottenham Hotspur, for me associated with the club, have been. And I almost switched off the TV, and then again I like, let's see what happens. If we cry. Then again, Lucas Moura in the 93rd minute went on, scored his hat trick, and the greatest moment of coming from Sissoko, then to Llorente's hip. Llorente's hip in that UCL season was the most expensive hip actually. to, to to breakage moment
Hips
point
don't lie.
goes,
Hips
yeah,
don't lie. Yes, I was to say that. Hips don't lie.
breakage moment points of Llorente's
What an
hip
original
was
joke.
goals. Shakira and PK would be proud. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
PK.
Yeah.
Sorry, PK. Wijnaldum ended you. Wijnaldum, man. Wijnaldum, please.
Oh God. That's
Yeah,
moment
so
Deli
yeah.
Ali and Lucas Moura. That was, yes, of course, the greatest moment for me is, although we have lost the final, but we were never expecting to go so far in they have this journey with the entire UCL format.
So yeah, we don't hear
Yeah,
these stories very often.
Arijit, I'd like to add one thing. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember the season, Tottenham Hotspur, last season, I think, like Tottenham Hotspur made it to the final. So I think in the group stage they faced Barcelona and they were like defeated 4-2 or 4-1. I don't remember correctly.
4-2, 4-2,
Like
4-2.
yeah, 4-2. Like it was a quite even poised game because like Tottenham had many chances, but Barcelona were the better team on that day. So like when I went to college, me and Michu were basically in the same college. So when I went to college and I actually had seen the match, there were Barcelona fans all around. So they were bullying him down that yeah, you lost, you lost. And like when I said that Tottenham Hotspur actually played well, he hugged me out of nowhere. So like that's how passionate this
Oh.
guy is for Tottenham Hotspur. So like
Oh,
I have
To be
ample
honest,
respect
like
for this guy.
Let's
football
leave
is
the chat
very
and like give them some privacy, bro.
football is very unforgiving. Like
Chill.
this
you
is
can have your
basically
really good thoughts.
Adishran's
Yeah.
love ballad for me too.
That I remember that moment actually.
Confess it
The
here,
association
bro.
of football and your emotion attached to football actually. So that's a
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
achievement. How we friends are actually going out and playing FIFA, and all our banters, all our association, this tactical analysis that we have. Honestly, we are no football pundits in one way or the other, but the love of football have gained us so much information attached to it. That yeah, I believe that this technical knowledge that we have about it, playing of football with Arijit, going to the community ground and giving tackles to the opposition team, a great friendship. We keep on going on terraces and talking about football the entire day, and we forget the time is done. I went to Anisha's home once. The entire day we were talking about football and how the entire lengthity of it was. So that's just a great moments of how our friendship came into being of this football associated with it and the love of the combined love of football, irrespective of any club or the game of football, and how the spirit of the ball is giving us the greatest moments of it.
So yeah, I think as you can like listen, it has been a long time since we started this podcast, and the length of it itself represents how much we have to say about that game. But yeah, football, like you cannot put into words how much you love it once you fall in love with it. And yeah, football basically has everything associated with it: the politics, the languages, the teams, the countries, and the societies, and of course the culture it represents. So yeah, we are very fortunate to be football fans. Like yeah, this is no way saying that we don't appreciate other football clubs. We love our football clubs, and we still love football at large. Because yeah, today is just a one-off day that we take our side and we tell our story. But yeah, don't mistake us for being biased, because we are not going to be. We are trying to be very honest with ourselves, and you can be honest football fans even without taking sides, I feel. And I think all of us would agree.
I agree.
Yeah, and appreciating the football will make you a football fan, not only loving your club, because it is not about what I have the bigger toy and I have the better toy. That's not the sort of thing football represents. Football represents unity,
True.
solidarity. It represents everything else that comes, camaraderie, friendship, and we are here to represent that. And this is us just signing off. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for the audience.